Okay, now if that changes and this tightens up and we get back to a southeast or a south wind, that's a different deal. But right now, it is strong enough, though, to get a tornado warning, but it's going to have to work hard. It's going to have to work harder than what it's working right now, and we'll see. But that is the mesocyclone. All right, there's the left side of it right there, and there's the right side. Okay, let's keep his shot up, punch it left, and let's go back to links 1, and right here. See, so Brandon's here. So he should have a southeast wind blowing into the mesocyclone, which is right here, right? He should have a southeast wind. He has a northwest wind, okay? So you're not going to get a tornado with the northwest wind blowing into the southeast. Now, if that changes and that stops, and it can, well, we'll have a problem. Right now, the tornado warning does continue southwest of Watonga. And Lacey, I'll tell you what, let's go back to shear rate. Then we'll get a storm track on it. And we'll see. I wonder if the meso is going to try to redevelop back into a little bit better environment down to the south. What's velocity data showing?
So there's velocity.
Yeah, it's still to the northwest, yeah.
And it is tight. I mean, it's tight in the low level. So if you can get this gust front to tuck back into it.
Yeah, it'll do it.
I mean, you've got a real tornadic problem potentially. I've got this track on links 2, David, and I brought that down to the southeast, moving it at 25 miles per hour, headed to Greenfield.
Yep.
And on links 2, right?
Yep.
Yes, there it is.
Yep.
Headed to Geary, Calumet, and eventually I included El Reno in the track just because it's a long ways from El Reno, but we'll see what it does when it gets there.
Yeah, all right, links 2, and here are some of your cities. All right, so sliding southeast, right? Are you out of NX or TLX at this point?
This is out of Vance.
Okay, all right, so we'll do Greenfield, 641, Geary, 659, Okarche Grain and Feed, 712, Cherokee Trading Post, everybody knows where that is, 719, Calumet, 722, Concho, 735, and we'll do Fort Reno at 738, and again, El Reno about 730 to 745 as it makes its way southeast. Okay, back to links 1, and there's your area of spin. Looks like it. Did you change radars on me?
Okay, this is TLX.
Okay.
Just looking at the 2 different ones. So TLX is about 500 feet higher.
Okay.
So, I mean, they're pretty close.
Yeah.
There's Vance, just so you know.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so it's not crazy tight.
No.
And area of spin is still back in here. You're looking at it live right here on News 9. It's not on the ground. It looks like it might have, it's kind of ramped up and it's just kind of holding its own. All right, let's go back to Brandon, and then we'll jump back into western Oklahoma here. Let's go back to Brandon Pennell. And Brandon, I tell you what, it looks ominous. You know, if you're looking at it, I know what you're thinking, oh boy, but I see lifting. I just don't see a whole lot of tight rotation right there. Tell me what you see. Again, what's your wind right there?
Yeah, David, that's right. So I kind of feel like maybe the main circulation might be tucked back in the rain a little bit, a mile or 2 or 3 back to my west. And I don't know what the winds are back in there. I can't see anything through the rain, but this is more of like a scuddy outflow dominant. It's not really a shelf cloud. I mean, there is a bunch of rising motion, but we have zero inflow right here. I mean, if he pans the camera due to our south, you'll be able to see a bunch of dirt. Keep going, keep going, keep going. See that dirt right there in the distance? That's probably a mile to our south, maybe a mile and a half to our south, and all that dirt is going north to south. So the inflow, I just don't see it right here in our location. You know, it's Oklahoma and crazy things happen. As he pans the camera back to what we're looking at right in front of us, you know, you can see a bunch of rising motion coming over this road, but really there's no spin to it. It's just lifting and continues to pull upwards. And right now we're probably getting 30 to 35 mile an hour winds out of the northwest. So the tornado threat in my location right where I am is basically zero at the moment. So I think we're going to get a little bit further south and see if we can find where an inflow band may be, or the fetch of the south winds feeding back up into this, to where we can try to identify maybe the better circulation for this tornado warning. Back to you. All
right, nice job. Just don't leave that shot. I know you're thinking about getting a little further south, but this is the leading edge. You're looking right at it here. So you can see, I mean, it's trying, right? Mid-levels up here, it's spinning like a top, right? You got to get up in here where we're getting the beginning of what we could be dealing with tornado genesis, but that's right here. Down here on the surface where it matters, we have a northwest wind. You don't have an inflow into this. It's being undercut by rain and hail, rain-cooled air, hail-cooled air that is pushing out of this. So as long as that continues, she'll spin all day, which is fine. We'll get some wind, we'll get some hail and all that, and heavy rain, lightning and thunder, but it will not produce. So we'll see. We'll see what this does. Now, we are watching back in here, but again, like he said, and like I'm showing you right now, if it's coming out of this, it's not going to be a southeast wind to his northwest. Look at the hail, though. That's big hail right there. All right, back to Lynx 1. Tornado warning continues, and it's going to be to the west-southwest of Watonga. Here's Brandon.
It's a CLX.
He's looking right here, and it's there. It's just not super strong. Strong enough to get a tornado warning. Okay, yes, but not quite strong enough to touch down. And again, there's some negative things going on with it currently. But I mean, it looks like, oh boy, here we go, right? I mean, look at that shot.
Yeah, and the hail with it you were mentioning, up to baseballs on radar. We know we had golf balls a little bigger than golf balls when this was over Canton Lake. By the way, it produced well over 3 inches of rain in and around the Canton Lake area. And then it finally got the shove.
Right, and they'll take that, by the way, in and around the Canton Lake area. They'll take that 3 inches of rain for sure. Put some more water back in it. Okay, so big hail now on the west side of Watonga. This is going to be, going to have at least golf balls, and there might be some tennis balls in here. So again, that's going to be a damaging hail event on and west of Watonga. You're going to get hammered as this is dropping from Canton Lake. There's your hail track, and you can see what it's doing, right? It's going right down and along and paralleling and on 270, sliding southeast, Watonga, Greenfield. Let's face it, you're next, Greenfield. Prepare for damaging winds. You're in the tornado warning. So if you live in Greenfield, back to west-southwest of Watonga, lowest level, center part of the house. Once again, things have to change a little bit. It does not appear to be on the ground right now, which is great, but it is rotating just strong enough to get that tornado warning. But there are some negative things also going on as well. But we're tracking it here, again, minute by minute. It has a northwest wind coming out of it. If that southeast wind and that changes and we start to get inflow into it, that's when we, again, could get a tornado here rather quickly. But it's still strong enough to get the tornado warning as it makes its way again down to the southeast. All right, I want to point out, this is Canadian County. This is El Reno, right? A lot of folks are, again, thunder up in the park. What time is it? 6:30, so that's been going on. And
they moved that up earlier today, I believe.
Okay, good.
I saw that, yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's right, they did. Because of this.
Because of this.
Okay, good.
Right, but there are so many people in and around the area right now, just so many events going on. The latest track, and I'm
going
updating
to the game, you're fine, by the way. Going to the game, you're fine. If you're leaving now or whatever, you're going to be just fine. Go ahead, what now?
I'm updating this on Lynx 2 and just kind of updating the track a little bit.
A little more southeast?
More south, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And I can still swing it back the other direction just to kind of show you some potential times, but this takes it further down towards Hinton. Yeah, and misses, and that big hail wind producer, tornado warned storm misses Oklahoma County, right? It stays just to our west. So Greenfield, 645, Gary, 702, Bridgeport, 711, Cherokee, Trading Post again, 722. Hinton, 724, Cedar Valley, 739, or Cedar Lake, excuse me, 739. We'll do, let's see, Gracemont, 813, and Minco, 815. And what she's done is that's the storm track right on where the potential, again, tornado is. It does not appear to be on the ground. Let's go back to Brandon Pennell and get an update on Brandon. He's making his way slowly south and looking at it. And Brandon, again, it's all there. You're right, looking right where you should be, but it's just, it's having some trouble. And when you get a second, stop. Tell me what your wind's doing right there. Go ahead.
Yeah, David, we're trying to get past this, you know what this big mountain / hill, whatever you want to call it, south of Watonga, so we're trying to get right past it. I do think maybe we've identified where the better rotation may be, and it's just on the west side of what we've been looking at. As we come around the corner here, you might be able to see it tucked back up in there just a little bit better. It was pretty visible just a second ago, but now that we changed perspective, yeah, you see you can't quite make it out in the shot again. But we did see what looked to be a little bit of a better, more established lowering, kind of back up in the rain just a little bit. And at our location now that we've moved, we're probably, I would guess, 6 or 7 miles south of Watonga. Our winds are more out of the east, I would say, here than they are the north. The outflow hasn't made it this far, so it does have that going for it as far as tornado as producing or trying to develop a tornado. But the inflow just isn't real strong at this location right now. So we're gonna pull over and we're gonna let it come back to us and see what it's doing as it gets closer. Back to you.
Yeah, and just looking at your shot there, you know, that's just, it's disorganized. It's struggling, which is great. We want storms that are spinning like this to struggle. And he's kind of in a cell bad area right there, so we'll figure that out here in just a second when he keeps moving. But that's it, folks, and it is not on the ground, right?
David, Watonga just had a 77-mile-an-hour wind gust.
Dang.
So there's some big wind, and if that hail is really as big as radar is indicating, that is destructive hail.
Oh, okay, so winds, again, that's what we said, close to 80 with tennis balls, possibly, golf balls for sure. And I want to point out there are other severe storms. No, let's get this out of the way, too. Nothing in western Oklahoma or southwest Oklahoma is any concern. Some gusty winds, rain, moderate rain, a couple storms out in the panhandle. Those are just, yeah, moving east, still a long ways away from the border as far as being severe. And this whole now complex is kind of the blob right now. Nothing down in the southwest of any concern. We're watching it. Okay, let's talk about the Clinton storm. Okay. And then we'll come back and, well, we can talk about it really at the same time. So from Clinton up 183 up to Putnam, this is one severe storm. Like I said, these are they're merging right now. The front lip of this whole thing is morphing into that. So that's going to have some impact on this storm, okay? But Jed's there, Brandon's there. We have Tom down to the south, Val's now farther east. And just checking back here for anything spinning of any concern. There is some weak shear. I can see that on velocity. A little bit of an inflow notch near Clinton. There's another one back up here near Custer City. Not tornado warned, but still watching it. This is our current tornado warning right now. Again, for Blaine County, sliding southeast, really almost south-southeast.
Yeah, and then those storms are moving much more easterly. So it's just interesting what's going to happen when all this congeals into one big area. And all these mergers can cause weird things to happen.
How about we do 2 tracks, one on the tornado and then one on the main blob?
Okay, the main blob. We'll do it.
I know.
We'll do it. Here, I'll zoom on in here and show you the latest.
Yeah, it's got to be hailing, and yeah, that's much weaker. It's there, but it's much weaker than what it was. And even when it was okay.
I'll switch radars here just to show you the look.
Yeah.
Out of Vance.
Okay. Yep, and here's your inflow notch, right? Look at the hail, right? There it is.
And there's next
gen.
A
little bit of an inflow notch right here, a little bit of a hook. It's there, and it's going right along 270. So nickel, dime, quarter, right? Golf ball, tennis ball. Is radar still showing baseballs?
Yes.
Okay. So that's over Watonga. So Watonga, down to the south, down to Greenfield, prepare for a damaging hailstorm and wind event, high-end wind event with winds of upwards of 80 miles per hour. There might be a gust, maybe 85, but 60 to 80, yes, going right down 270 as this line continues to slide down to the southeast. Greenfield, it's knocking on your door. Open it up, it's coming in. Down to Gary, right? It's going right down 270. And again, that's inside the tornado warning. But we've been talking about this, how it's having some good problems, if you will. There's a gust front underneath it. You're not going to get a tornado with a northwest wind, right? It's not going to happen. You got to have a southeast wind blowing into that. Let's go back to Brandon here again and get an update from Brandon. And Brandon, I know you're moving back in position. Brandon, what's your wind right now? Give us an update. And that to me looks like outflow. Go ahead, give me an update.
Oh, yeah, David, it's 100% a lot of outflow. We're in strong north winds right here. I'd say sustained at 20, gust to 30, 35, even 40 at times, just depending on where exactly you are on the leading edge of this storm. To me, it appears like it's almost becoming more of a line and linear, and it's kind of losing that supercell structure from the northeast back to the southwest, just visually looking at it. So, you know, this thing could especially that kind of wind, you know, that causes a lot of damage in its own right. So we're right in front of it, but right now, you know, we're having a hard time finding any kind of inflow at all. It's all outflow dominant everywhere we've been. On the, you know, like I said, low as 15, but as high as 45 at times out of the north. Back to you.
Okay, all right, so that's a great sign. So this thing is completely, it's still a big severe storm. Let me emphasize that. Damaging wind, damaging hail. The tornado threat right now is gone with that. That's come down, all right? And I know the warning is still going on, and that's fine and dandy, but it's got to change. And that window there was only about a 5-minute window, and even that was was marginal. All right, so he's got that northwest wind, no chance of a tornado with a northwest wind where he is. And it'll spin all day. And it's spinning because we have big hail and big wind. Like Lacey said, had the wind gusts to nearly 80 at Watonga. So, yeah, I mean, we have damage. You got winds to 80, you have damage, okay? All right, back to Lynx 1.
So this is the track on that portion of it. So the biggest hail core, I put it on, you know, the hail with that's pushing south, but it's going to merge with the cells out west. Right. This will come in behind it. But this blob, this area of storms running from Watonga back to Thomas, Greenfield 640, Gary 658, Calumet 716, Hinton 718, Lakiba at 740. Okay, Lynx 3? Lynx 3 also, but if you just look right there, David, too, on the showers that we have going on. Actually, Lynx 2, sorry.
Go back to Lynx 2.
Lynx 2 control, I'm sorry, that was my bad. There's also new showers popping up all across along I-40 from Gary down to Hinton.
Yeah.
So we'll see what that does.
Yeah, and that's all going to fill in. You're right. You know, I keep thinking this is going to catch this.
And push from further south. And it might. So I can read these times real quick and I can just shift it further south.
Yeah, that's fine. So here's the deal. Canadian County, yes, okay? But the question is going to be, we are nowcasting here because this is such a powerful storm. I think stronger than that it might latch onto this like it's doing and just keep this going southeast and go through Canadian County. But that's one scenario. Or like she's done here, this is what we talked about. We're going to be safe on this deal. We bring this big wind and hail producer that's coming through Thomas right now, down to Clinton, down I-40 into Oklahoma City. So Weatherford, 643.
Whether you're the person who jumps out of bed or the one who needs to keep hitting snooze, warning.
In our ear. Colony, 7 o'clock. Okarche, 742. El Reno, 751. And we'll do Union City, 8 o'clock. Yukon, 8:11, Mustang, 8:23, and the Village at 8:24. Downtown Oklahoma City at about 8:35.
And then I'll turn it farther south. Which is maybe more of what the direction it goes.
Yeah, it's going to try.
So that'd be Norman at about 8:45.
Yeah, there you go. So Norman, 8:45 more at about 8:30 still, kind of like downtown. So it's probably. And there's other stuff up here near Ames that'll sprinkle through the metro or central Oklahoma, but this is our main show right here. Again, sliding for now east-southeast, but we'll see. The flow in the atmosphere should take it really right through here, and this be on the eastern flank, which would be Canadian County, maybe southwest Oklahoma County, down through Moore, would be kind of on the eastern front of the worst of it, and then, back to the west. Look at the hail in here, nickel and dime, quarter-size hail, and I see Val's on I-40, right?
Yes, I don't have the GPS. I just turned everything off on this particular radar view because there was so much happening there, but just kind of show you how it's all merging together.
Yeah, he's just west of Weatherford, David, on 40.
Yeah, okay. And, this might completely, miss Oklahoma City. It's going to be close. All right, so once again, the tornado warning does continue. Is it expired yet? Canceled?
No.
Officially?
It will be allowed to expire, yes.
Yeah, it's over with that. All right. So once again, though, this is now coming into a western Canadian county. And we have Brandon here. We have Jed right there as well, sliding down to the southeast. What's Jed's shot look like? And let's get an update from Jed. Let's bring Jed in here. And he is going to be just right on the front lip of that. Jed, you have some big hail just to your north and 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts in Watonga. Jed, we have your shot up. You're looking good. And that is a wall of wind and a wall of hail just to the north of you coming your way, going right down 270. Go ahead, Jed.
Yeah, so we're exactly where it's at. Talking with her, David. This storm is showing just a little slight rotation above us. We can see it spinning just a little bit. Not like what we had earlier, like Brandon was saying, but this is just south of Watonga. We're kind of monitoring this area right here. So we're going to keep an eye on it, David, but the storm is intensifying. It looks pretty big right now from our vantage point.
Nice job. Okay, so he is, let's go back to Lynx 1. I'll show you where Jed is. And he's right here, back on Lynx 1 control room. And he's right here, and along with Brandon here, and they're going to keep bringing this southeast. We have Tom. He's now getting in position just a bit farther south. And then we have Val now kind of on the southern side of this. Let's go to Val Castor, and let's bring Val in. He's coming down I-40 and get an update from Val. And Val, it's kind of behind you and just north of you there. There's a lot of wind in that. We've had gusts to 80 or 77 officially at Watonga. And this is going to go east-southeast or, more southeast, I think, as we get into the next little bit. But go ahead, Val. Give us an update.
Yeah, so, David, right now we are approaching Weatherford on I-40 here. If you can look at our shot right there, that is looking up to the north. This storm, to me, it looks like it's trying to get a little bit better organized. It's still not super organized, but I can say that looking up to the north, I know there's a big wind spike up there, and there's not really any tight rotation or a tight couplet or anything like that. But that base up there is starting to get a little bit more solid looking, I guess you will. And just a few minutes ago, we had a gust, and this is inflow winds. You can see it right there on our wind banner, I guess you could say. It's 47 miles an hour. That's the highest gust we've seen all day. And that was inflow winds blowing from the south to the north. So that might possibly be an indication that that storm up there might be getting stronger. Anytime you get inflow winds that start increasing like that, that's something, to keep an eye on. So we're going to watch it. Back to you.
Yep. All right. Hey, Val, here's the deal. Exactly what you just said. There's a new area of spin, new area of shear now, southeast of Thomas, or just north and east of you. How far is that, Lacey?
Let me look here.
15 miles? What are we guessing here?
Yeah, 12.
12 miles, Val. So, Val, to your north-northeast, there's another inflow notch now northwest of Hydro, but let's just say about 13 miles northeast of Weatherford. So, Val, that's going to be coming into...
And you can see that on Brandon's shot.
Yeah, that's going to be coming into, again, southwestern Blaine County, coming in from the northwest. All right, so that's that right here. That is getting stronger, the rotation with that. And Brandon also has that in his shot. Okay, let's go back to Lynx 1. And this is going to be a new area of spin. And this is every bit as what the other one was. This tornado warning is gone. This is going to be the new one now. And this is getting stronger. And what does shear rate look like? This is going to be north of Hydro right here.
Yeah, right on the county line.
Yep. Yep.
That's across the river.
Yep. So right on the river now, coming into, again, Blaine County. That's getting stronger. We'll probably get another tornado warning out of this if it keeps going. And a little bit of an inflow notch clearly showing up, wrapping right into it. I mean, it's right there.
I'm going to lapse it just so you can see the direction. It's still moving almost due east, but you would think it's going to get a shove to the southeast here in a little bit.
Yeah, at least more east-southeast.
Yeah, so Bridgeport.
Yeah.
Hydro.
And that still puts Oklahoma City, at least Canadian County, at least West Metro, Southwest Metro, Moore, Norman, in this line of fire with this. So, again, these are all severe. The whole line is severe now, running from east of Arapahoe, big hail through the whole line, where you see the purples going to the blacks. That's going to be tennis ball, size hail up to tennis ball, right? Nickels and dimes and quarters. Radar is still showing baseballs. Okay, that did weaken some.
Yes.
That's come down some, which is good. It's still on 270. Big hail here, right? You can see these cores showing up near Custer City. And look at that. Yeah, okay, that's come down. So that's weakened some. And it's all due to the fact that it's got all this interaction from the stuff in behind it. What you got, Justin? You looked at me like you had something.
No, I was just agreeing with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Really? You don't have anything to add? Okay. All right. So
the tornado warning is gone.
Yep.
Officially with that, it was very short fused and it was tight and then it gusted out. So that's gone.
Yep. Look at the hook on this thing now.
I'll take it back to reflectivity.
Yeah, right here. It's really starting to tighten up right on the Blaine County line here. So we're going to hang with this a little bit longer. And again, moving east-southeast. It looks, you're right, it's moving east, but it's trying to, no, it's moving east.
It hasn't moved south yet. You would think it would any time, but it is not at the moment.
Okay, so back out of this just a second. Let's get a view of the big
whole
view.
line.
Yeah, go back to reflectivity. Let's see if it's made the turn. This is almost...
Look at how it's become the dominant feature on that entire severe complex.
Yeah, but if this swings around or falls to the south, that'll cut that off too. Okay, again, nothing in southwestern Oklahoma now of any concern. Good rains down here, a little bit of lightning and thunder. Severe weather in the Texas Panhandle is actually weakened. And these are just garden variety showers and storms, producing a little wind, a little hail, coming into southwest Oklahoma. So enjoy the rain, you folks in the far west. The severe weather now is off to your east, now coming into the West Metro. So severe thunderstorm warning for now western and northwestern Canadian County. Big storm producing winds of 70 to 80 miles per hour. And velocity data, are we showing that wind? Can we see any of that? Let's see here. We're kind of on the edge.
Switch here, just take a look at Advance just to see what we got.
What you got right there?
This is going to be a little higher up.
Yep. Yeah, it's not very strong. Okay.
And then I put an updated track on 2 when you're ready for this kind of whole complex, but you know, direction still varies.
I know, because that's still moving, still moving east-southeast. Okay, so this is the new area of spin we're watching. We'll see what we get out of that. See the hook right there? Watch how quickly that forms. I mean, that stands out.
New tornado warning coming for that.
So there we go. This is why we're staying on the air with this, because this is what we were talking about. And this is why we were basically letting you know this was a News 9 tornado warning. Now it's going to be official. And there it is. Okay, so new tornado warning now. And Brandon's here. Let's go back to Brandon Pennell and get an update from Brandon. He's looking back to the west. And that came up quick. There we go. Brandon, new tornado warning. Your old circulation has died. And there's the next lowering in there. Okay. That looks interesting to me right now. That's looking due west. It looks like pretty much, due west from you. Go ahead, Brandon. Give us an update. How fast is that turning?
Yeah, David, that's exactly right. So we noticed that this was what I was saying a minute ago. We were looking back through. I couldn't tell exactly where it was through all the rain, but we saw another lowering. And, you know, this is, as the more that it gets closer to us, the more that we can see. Hey, what is that right there on the right? On the right, right above the white towers. So it looked like we could see lifting coming really hard up off the ground. I know it's at a distance, but you can ride over the white oil tanks. Zoom out a little bit. Zoom out.
And Brandon, zoom in on that right now. It's out of focus. It's out of focus. It's out of focus.
Okay, it's trying to focus. It's on the roof cam. It's trying to focus.
Okay. What is that right there?
It looked like there was quite a bit of spin right there in that localized area. It was short-fused and short-lived, but I can tell you that the further east that this comes, the more defined this is becoming. So it wouldn't surprise me if there could be something on the ground back in there.
Yeah.
It's just too far away for us to confirm that right now.
Remember the time when that was. Okay. And this is trying to pivot up now. Yeah, that might have briefly touched down.
The correlation coefficient debris detector, David, is slightly negative in that area.
Okay.
It does line up with where the circulation is as well.
Yep, right here.
Yeah, and I have the track on there that I've put on it. This is coming to Greenfield at 712 if it holds together. Geary at 720, Cherokee Trading Post at 734, Okarche at 756, and there's the Lucky Star Casino, David, at 8 p.m. Okay,
so again, that's what we're talking about right there. That might be some debris lofted that the radar is picking up, right there, right where it should be. There's a weakness in the reflectivity, velocity data. Yeah, it's close. It's close, and there it is. Okay, go back to debris detector.
Okay, I'm gonna go its height here. There's the river. It's just to the east now of the river.
Okay, it's right here. Yeah, that might be some debris that was lofted. Okay, let's go back to Tom Pastrano. Tom is farther southeast, looking back to the northwest. And Tom, we have your shot up here. Give us a shot of what you see looking back to your northwest right now. And this thing it's spinning like a top. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, David. So there is a lot of motion underneath the circulation over there. At times it does get rain wrap from my location, but this storm structurally, I'm to the southeast of it, and it is really starting to take shape. It kind of went to a linear look. It was messy just a few minutes ago, and now it's getting a better look to it. Lots of motion over there. I don't see anything on the ground, no power flashes yet, but if I see anything, I'll let you know. Back to you.
Okay, all right, so this is the right side of the mezzo, and then back here's the left, and it's a wall of water behind it. It's hanging out on the front lip right now. It's not wrapped in rain, it doesn't look like. It's right up in here, and Brandon, again, is farther north, looking back at the west. We'll see, that could change, and rain could certainly wrap around it, and then that would be all we would get out of it. All right, back to Lynx 1, and looking at velocity data here. Is that right, Lace? We're
Yep.
back on one?
Yes,
Okay.
that is. Yep.
All right, so here's Brandon, here's Jed. Max rotation right here. Okay, so if you live Geary, back to the west or southwest of Greenfield, once again, lowest level, center part of the house. Let's zoom in on some of these roads
Okay,
here,
there's
Lace.
the county roads turned on.
And East Road, 900 to 920 to 930. Really, it's going to be from 10 to 20 to 30. 910, 920, 930 East Road, and north-south 2480. Right here. That's where the, man, it's.
And I have updated the storm track on links too, David. I've brought it to El Reno, and I can bring it further into Oklahoma City if it keeps going that far east. This is way down the line, but this is coming into the western sides of the metro now.
Yeah, I mean, right now we have to do that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's still moving east-southeast. So Geary, 719. For those that are at the game, that are being called or text and whatever, you're at the game, getting ready for the game to start. This is going to move in during the game, okay? So obviously just keep that in mind. But right now, we're looking at the Cherokee Trading Post at 733, Calumet 742, Concho 756, El Reno at about 8 o'clock, and 8 o'clock in El Reno, okay? And that's going to be with that tornado warning right here. It might have briefly touched down, and the hook is right here. North of it, we have a wall of wind and hail where you see the purple and the black, right? It kind of does like this. It kind of snakes along. And this is all the hail in here, right? Hail, nickel, dime, quarter, golf ball. And there's going to be some tennis balls. It did produce 77-mile-per-hour wind gusts in Watonga. So, okay.
There's the update. I just took it into Oklahoma City. If it makes it, it's a long way from here now as far as the direction of the speed, but that would be 8:53.
Yeah, game
so in
is
2 hours.
obviously still going, and lots of folks downtown. And
huge hail, David. The hail core just increased on the latest scan.
Wow, and look at the hook right here.
And David, there is another hook lowering that we're watching just west-northwest of Hydro, and Val has that on his shot.
Okay.
So a little bit closer down the line, down towards 40.
Right in here, okay. Okay, so we have, again, 2 areas of spin. This is the main one, right? This is the main one right here. Is Val looking back toward? Yeah, he is. Okay, I see it. All right, so, okay. Let's go, first of all, let's go down the line here. Again, this is a tornado warning. Once again, running from Geary back to the west. How far is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 16 miles. So the hook is right here. So 14 miles west-northwest of Geary. There's the hook right here, right where it should be. And what does max route look like? Everything all lined up. Just yep, all good. And this is where the tornado is going to be. Val is down on this. There's an area of spin down here that Val is watching. This is the main area. Let's go back to Brandon Pennell. Let's bring his shot in, bring him up. And tornado warning now. Brandon continues. And there we go. Yep, it's a big storm. Big, gargantuan hail. Big, big hail. Go, Brandon.
Yeah, David, that's right. You know, you can see just how it's got a collar cloud all the way around it now. So it's really becoming more organized over the last 15 to 20 minutes. And I was just telling Justin, too, you know, our winds are trying to pick up here, but we had lost all of our outflow that we were talking about earlier. So, you know, I heard Val saying that he had inflow, that he was. That made me think just for a second about all the outflow that we had, and it's basically gone. Right now, though, I do think that we are getting just a little bit of a west wind, but I think we're on the north side of the circulation now. But that would cause me a little bit of concern. It would be an improvement for the tornado threat, because now we've got a west wind on the north side of the circulation, well removed. So, you know, that might be a little bit of outflow coming off the north side too. So it's just something to watch. But we're right in front of it. We're going to get south just a little bit because it drifts south of this dirt road on us. We're going to go into down by Geary, and we'll be right in front of it if it does something. Back to you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Nice job, Brandon. All right. So Brandon, and he knows that this is, again, moving almost due east with his cell. And we'll see if the winds start to come out of it, out of the west. Hey, Brandon, one more time. What's your wind direction right there? What's your wind direction there, Brandon?
I would say it's light to variable, but it's just a hint out of the west.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. A west wind. Well, okay. And that's great news for not getting a tornado with a west wind. If you had a ripping east wind, I could just see some of it blowing here. It's like a bluish green. But I just don't see a lot of wind blowing into it. Like you said, a light west wind. Okay, so that's with that. Let's go back to Links 1. And here we go. There's gargantuan hail. And this is going to be, again, running from northwest of Bridgeport, north of Hydro, Oklahoma City, Canadian County, El Reno are behind me. Tornado warning continues for that right there. Right?
Yes.
Okay, hang on a second. Now, Justin, I want to point out his shot up there on that monitor.
It just updated.
Looks good.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he's fixing it.
But it does not look in my shot. It's still blue. You see the difference?
Yeah, it was much bluer.
Okay, I just want to point that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's adjusting it, but it looks amazing on that. This still is a little bit bluish. Anyway, there's some weird things going on. All right, so once again, tornado warning continues right here. This is where the tornado is, the area of spin, right? It's right here, moving east-southeast, and that's going to make its way to Gary. And Jed's right here, a little area, again, spin back here. What does shear rate look like? It's a little bit messy now. It's a little bit messy, still back there.
There's a lot of rain around it, a lot of rain east of it now, these showers.
Yep.
There's so much wind combined with that hail that could easily blow out windows. This is going to be some damage to vehicles.
Oh, for sure. Oh, if you live,
it's big hail.
Yeah, if you live west of Gary, you're just going to get trashed. I mean, winds 60 to 80 miles per hour, and it's on base though, right?
Yes.
57, but it's coming right at you.
Yep.
So that's a pretty good number. 60 to 70 on the wind. The wind is right back here where you see the purples and the blacks. This is actually the rain and the hail, but the wind is right in this area, those stronger winds that we were just showing you there. And again, that's going to be making its way east-southeast. And they're right in here. We see the blue, that's 60 to 70, right? It's still moving east.
Yeah, I don't see
Not
very
yet.
little in the way of a southerly shove.
No. So as far north as Greenfield, as far south as Gary, winds 60 to 70, quarter, golf ball, up to possibly tennis ball size hail. Here's Oklahoma County. We'll get you a storm track. And Lace, I think we do it.
Yeah, you just got to keep bringing it in.
Bringing it in.
Doing that.
And Val just got hit with the gust front.
Okay. So Val, we don't think.
Tom and Val are right next to each other.
Okay. All right, now it looks like on that last, it's starting to move a little bit. See how it lunges here? Mm-hmm. A little more southeast. So it's meandering, it's doing this, and it's probably going to try to split the difference and try to end up probably being, I still think, Canadian, obviously Grady, and we'll see how far it goes into and through Canadian County. All right, is that links 3? You have that on?
2.
2. Okay, links 2. And this is a storm track right now. But folks, we are nowcasting, which means we are doing this on the fly because the trend might be for this in the atmosphere, to be able to bring this a little farther southeast, okay? But just to be safe, there are thousands of people in downtown Oklahoma City, and we want to bring this into downtown, at least on our storm track, at about 8:30. El Reno, 7:49. Yukon, 8 o'clock. Downtown Oklahoma City, 8:32. Moore, 8:49. And we'll do Norman at about 9 o'clock. Okay? Southeast still at 20?
Yeah, to 30.
Oh, you got 30
Sped
now?
up a little bit, yeah.
Okay, so once again, tornado warning. This is for far southern Blaine County. Still in Blaine County where the tornado warning is. Moving easterly, trying to slide a little bit, maybe a little bit east-southeasterly, right? Due east is here. Maybe a little bit east-southeasterly. And let's go back to Val. Val's down here on I-40. He says he has a northwest wind, so that is a good sign, right? And that means that this storm is having some issues, at least farther south. Val, you're hot, your shot's up, looks great. Go ahead, and I see the wind there up top. I can see the wind direction just in the queue, headed off to the south there. Go ahead.
Yeah, so David, we're watching 2 areas of rotation. One is to the north that Brandon has been on. It looks like it is really, really gusted out. There's another one straight west of us, and it's going to be maybe just east of Hydro. That one has more inflow to it than the one to the north. I have a feeling, though, that both of them are going to be gusted out fairly soon. We just had the gust front hit us, and the wind quickly rose to 44 miles an hour. And I've got someone pulling up behind me that look like they're very nervous about what's going on here. But Anyway, so that's what's going on here. The shot you're looking at right there is the one on the west side, and it to me it looks like the most significant one of all right now. But I guarantee you both of them are going to be gusted out before long. Back to you.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens here. Either way, what's going to head towards, parts of the metro. That's what we've been talking about here. We'll see. The tornado warning might drop. We'll see. Circulation might weaken, but this is still going to be a wind event for the west and southwest metro, maybe across downtown, as this whole thing continues to evolve and move off to the east, southeast. We'll see if it makes more of a turn. So far, it's tried to do that, but it's certainly not gone all in on this thing yet, as far as that turn. Okay, back to Links 1 in Brandon, again in Gary. Jed's back in here. Let's get an update from Jed, and he's out ahead of the main area of circulation here. Jed, looking off to the west-northwest there, as you make your way west, go ahead and give us an update.
Yeah, it looks like, as Val mentioned, this outflow for a while had kind of some more impressive tornado clouds and spin to it. But right now, mainly outflow. One thing I've noticed after the storm, David, even those strong, sharp, bright, positive stripes that happen with these more powerful storms, this was doing it. These lightning strikes are vicious right now, so do not be outside with this storm passing through. There are some strong, staccato bolt type lightning coming down out of this storm right now.
All right, nice job, looking good. All right, so he'll get back to the west and southwest here. All right, back to Links 1, and look at the hail core, folks. I mean, we're talking every bit of golf balls. There might be some tennis balls in here, and you can see the hail core now, southwest of Greenfield. Go ahead and lapse that. Yeah, Lace, let's see our movement here.
Okay.
And tornado warning continues, right? If you live in Gary or west of Gary, still thinking about lowest level, center part of the house, right? Right, you're in it. And if you live in and around Gary, back to the west, but the hail core, once again, moving pretty much towards Gary at this point, nickel, dime, quarter, and up to at least a few pockets of tennis balls right now, okay? And the area of spin has weakened some, not quite as strong as what it was, so that's good. That's come down some. And once again, it's making its way off to the east-southeast. All right, so tornado warning continues. What you got?
It's hard to find any area where that couplet is tight, where it looks like a tornado would be imminent. Everything is a little bit more broad, a little more messy. It's just a lot of wind and hail showing up at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. And once again now, just south of Greenfield, down to Gary. But the area of spin we had earlier, it's right in here, but it's weakening.
Yeah, it's kind of spreading out for sure.
It went up, it tightened, and now it's coming back down. So that tornado warning, that's going to go away too, okay, as it makes its way off to the east-southeast. But man, big wind and big hail. The hail core, go to just turn on storm strength. I'm just want to see what it looks like. And yeah, it's kind of shifting down here a little bit.
It is, and just overall has weakened slightly from what it was.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is the strongest storm too.
Yeah. In
the state, just kind of perspective there for what all's happening.
Yeah, I mean, this is it. Nothing in southwest Oklahoma right now of any concern, and that down there is pretty far out there.
Right.
So, okay. All right, so the tornado warning continues. This is going to be for southern Blaine County, coming into Canadian County, right here. And again, it's a big storm. The circulation is still to the north, but even that is getting weaker right now. It's a far cry from what it was. So that's good. And the way it's going right now, this tornado warning, more than likely, I think it'll be dropped as it makes its way easterly. Yeah. What about shear rates? They'll still have it?
Yeah.
Still
definitely
there.
Looks like that energy's been gobbled up.
Yep.
With all these interacting storms and a lot of outflow. A lot of rain, just looking at that storm.
Yeah, the thing over Bison up north,
Trackers are getting a lot of 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts. Tom just had a 50, all outflow.
Let's go to Tom. And where is Tom? Tom now, he's right there at the Hinton exit. Look at there, yeah, big gust front. Okay, Tom, give us an update on your wind blowing in from the northwest. Go ahead.
Yeah, David, so I just had a huge gust with this outflow. About 50 right now. There's a lot of blowing dust, which is kind of interesting. I don't know where all the dust is coming from, but yeah, it is blowing from right to left, which is from the north to the south. And this storm is just kind of just
lunging at us right now on I-40. So I don't see anything that's tightened up anymore. Earlier, it was just all consolidated in that one area north of I-40, but it is surging now. Back to you.
Okay. All right, nice job. Nice job, Tom. So that, again, north winds 40 to 50. He is not in the strongest wind, by the way. That is still back to his west and northwest. And by the way, the Tonys are on live right now, and you can watch those on KSBI, Channel 52. That's our other sister station that we have right here in Oklahoma City, where the Tonys are live on, again, KSBI. All right, let's see if we can drop the tornado warning on this a little bit more. That's a north wind, and that's ripping. All right, let's go to Jed. And I'll tell you what, before we go to Jed, let's go to Brandon here. And Brandon has the front lip of this. Let me take a look at that. Brandon, I know you're moving there. When you get a second, tell me your wind direction right there. Has the northwest winds, have they made it to you, or do you still have a southeast or an east wind?
About a mile back, we had outflow winds. Our winds are almost calm where we're at right now. So, you know, we're out ahead of the outflow now, but the outflow is probably, I'd say, a mile or 2 miles ahead of the actual storm at our location. So there's really no inflow at the moment that's making it back into the updraft or where the circulation would be. So, I mean, that's a good sign as it comes into the West Metro. We're just we're in between Gary and Calumet right now, eastbound. So we're right in front of it as well if it does anything crazy. Back to you.
All right, nice job. Okay, and that was really important what he said if you missed that. No real inflow winds flowing back into the area of spin. So that's what we were talking about. So that means it has weakened, and the tornado warning is going to be dropped out of this the way it's going. Just because there's no inflow, you got to have winds pulling into it from all directions to get a tornado. If you have light winds, not going to do it. And if you've got no wind, not going to do it. And if you've got a west wind blowing to the east or a northwest wind, not going to do it, right? It'll spin. You get big wind, big hail, but you're not going to get a tornado.
Even the hail is coming down, David. The last scan, the hail has come down substantially.
Okay.
Just the size of the core itself and the size of the hail within that core has really come down.
Yep. And now we're looking
still big hail. Don't get me wrong. Still big hail.
Yeah, golf balls. And still showing maybe tennis balls down on I-40, which is not good, or just north of I-40. So still a supercell, still rotating. Once again, moving east-southeast. Now we'll get you a little bit of a volume scan on this and fly in and take a look. It's big hail core. There's your 3D stuff here. Check that out. There's your updraft right there. So big supercell, big wind, big hail. And the tornado warning was earlier, was up in here.
Right.
And I really can't even see that.
It's hard to see any circulation. It's just, it's a big bad storm for sure.
Yeah. And you're thinking, is that a hook? No. We'll keep an eye on that because it doesn't mean that something won't try to form out of this, more of a flanking line. All right, what's the movement here? Lacey, go ahead and lapse.
Okay, I'll zoom it out here. And the severe thunderstorm warning now does include El Reno.
Yep.
Because it is definitely making a beeline that direction still, but you can see the whole thing, how quickly. That's a 15-minute lapse, and in 15 minutes, it's a completely different looking storm.
Yeah, and it's still trying to go east-southeast, isn't it?
Yeah. I put a track on too. Updated the track if you want to take a look at that,
perfect.
if you agree with that direction.
Yeah, I do.
And the tornado warning is being canceled.
Yep, there we go. So links to?
Yep, that's it.
Okay. All right, so once again, sliding southeast, there's your big storm. Sliding southeast, that's what we've been saying, the tornado warning, that's gone. We'll say El Reno at about 7:50, Yukon 8:12, downtown Oklahoma City 8:41, and we'll do Midwest City 8:56. We'll do Tinker Air Force Base at about 8:56 as well. Folks, we're going to take a break. We'll be back. Stay with News 9. We'll keep you advised.
Record break.
News 9, this is a severe weather update.
Well, good news here. No tornado warnings obviously in effect right now. We still have that one severe storm that continues to weaken west of Oklahoma City. Army of trackers are still out. It looks kind of scary, looks a little bit ominous, but hey, somebody's having a nice dinner. Appreciate that. Okay, let's get to it here. Links 1. And there you go. Now, the severe thunderstorm watch does continue until 11 o'clock tonight for all the counties in blue. We have one severe storm now, and that's that storm that we had the tornado warning on it just about 45 minutes ago. This thing has really come down. Now sliding southeast. A few more storms going up near O'Keene and Hitchcock. Those are moving east-southeast. I really think those will make it into Oklahoma City. But this storm that is severe near Hinton, again, marginally severe, dropping down to the southeast, down towards Hinton, Cogar, and then maybe as far east, maybe coming into southwestern and southern Canadian County, northeastern Caddo County, northwestern Grady County. And a little closer shot, there it is, some hail running from Bridgeport, just east of Hinton, down to Scott, southwest of Cedar Lake. Going to have some hail in there. Hail sizes have really dropped off, nickel and dime, and again, maybe some quarter-size hail out of that. But trackers are still here, still in place. We're watching this carefully. Let's go to Brandon Pennell. Let's bring Brandon in and get an update from him. And he's back in there looking back at it. Boy, I tell you what, Brandon, what an hour ago you had tornado warnings, and now just got a good old-fashioned severe storm, but nothing crazy right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, David, that's exactly right. We're eastbound on I-40 right now, looking back to the southwest. And you can just tell what a big difference it looks like from what it looked like about an hour ago. So, you know, all in all, at least the trend is down. And, you know, probably just a little bit of light rain, maybe some gusty winds. Probably not even very much hail. We couldn't find any hail earlier, but we were pretty much staying out of the core. So good sign for everybody. Back to you.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, nice job. And again, this is going to be that one severe storm here. So here's your storm track, kind of on the leading front of this. Once again, in two parts of Canadian County, right? It's running from east of Hinton down northeast of Lakiba. That's your most intense part. Union City at about 7:56. Minko, 8 o'clock. We'll do Newcastle at about 8:40. And Blanchard at about 8:43. We'll say Norman at about 9 o'clock. So we will see rain here in Oklahoma City. It's raining now in Edmond up to Oak Tree. But the only severe storm, and it's marginally severe at best, is out in here. And again, that's just going to see the movement here sliding down. So Grady County, maybe if it makes it down into McLean County. Now the rain will make it as it makes its way to the east. So it's going to be a wet evening here in Oklahoma City with light to moderate rain. And again, we're watching that for that storm to possibly ramp back up. But right now the trend is weaker. 7 News 9. We'll keep you advised.